Hi, my name is Susan Fee, and I'm a licensed professional counselor. And when I tell people that I'm a counselor, I find out they really don't know what counseling is or what a counselor does. So I'd like to offer an education to let you know what therapy is all about and what happens when the door closes, what goes on in a session, to give you an idea if counseling might be helpful to you. First of all, a definition. Counseling is a professional, therapeutic relationship between a counselor who's trained and licensed and the client. Now, I say therapeutic and professional because a counselor is not there to be your friend. A counselor is there to help you, partner with you, to find ways that you can solve your own problems, to find the ways that you can empower yourself and move you on to a solution. A counselor is not a friend. A friend gives you advice and kind of lets you cry on their shoulder. A counselor's not there to tell you what to do, but again, to do the hard work of helping you find the answers that are already inside of you and acting on them in ways that maybe you hadn't thought of before. A lot of people ask, well, what does talking to a stranger do for me? Well, I know what my problem is. Well, great. If you know what your problem is, then you know how to solve it and you don't need counseling. But if you know what your problem is and you've had that problem for a really long time and it kind of follows you around, maybe you're ready to try something new. How does talking about it help? Because a counselor listens to you in a different way than maybe your friends or relatives can listen to you. First of all, we don't know you. We're not emotionally tied to whatever your issue is. We can challenge you or support you in ways that maybe you've never heard before. It's kind of that aha moment. Secondly, a lot of people don't talk about their problems out loud. They just run them through in their minds until they're exhausted. Once you say it out loud and have to explain it to somebody else, it's amazing what happens in that process. And sometimes just sharing the pain or the discomfort that you've been carrying around for so long, just getting it out and letting it free to somebody else who's not going to judge you for that is very, very freeing in itself. It's like a weight is lifted. And through that explanation, it's amazing how often there are little windows of opportunity that a counselor can help you or question you in a way that, again, you just hadn't been challenged before. So a counselor's not going to give you advice, and the other thing that a counselor's not going to do is share your story all over town. Counselors have laws that they must abide by, ethical rules. We are licensed by each state. I'm licensed in Ohio. And we have rules of confidentiality, and you should be told this by your counselor. You should be aware of it. The majority of what you say is confidential with just a few exceptions. Number one, if you share an intent to harm yourself, that is, if a counselor feels that there's a good chance you're going to commit suicide, he or she is definitely going to report that and get you the help you need right then, right there. If you share an intent to harm somebody else, a counselor must report that, so that part will not be confidential. And if it's discovered that you are involved in child abuse or elderly abuse, any kind of abuse that's going on right now, it's being committed in the moment, a counselor must report that. But beyond those three things, the intent to harm self or others, and that includes abuse as well, a counselor is there to protect what you have to say. Everything is confidential. You should receive paperwork and an update from your counselor. Now, what would you go to a counselor about? Well, anything that's negatively impacting your life, holding you back from living to your full potential. Most times that is a past occurrence, some past pain. It could have come from childhood or something recently in your adulthood that's blocking your way to a fully satisfied, joyful life where you are living up to your potential. It could be some trauma that's happening right in the moment. You've lost your job, your spouse is cheating on you or wants a divorce, or some other trauma has happened at work, or you've witnessed something. Maybe you've been in an automobile accident. All of these situations could be things that a counselor could help you with. If you have more questions about counseling, I really do encourage you to seek the information. It's out there.